Alright, so first things first, I need to remind myself of controls. Up, down, left, right, D for hit, interact space, there's a wiki, which is important because this is a historical game, so there's a bit of learning. Throw, left shift, dog mode, left alt. I can use a gamepad. D-pad. 1, 2, 3. Should be able to plug something over. 1, 2, 3. Select. Oh no, I can't use the Super Nintendo controller. Oh well. Let us continue. Previously, the father-in-law and his American friend, don't think they found the son-in-law yet. But the dog is now present.
Amidst the never-ending attacks and counterattacks, Freddy and Emil hunted the elusive Baron and his regiment in Ypres. On April 22nd, 1915, chlorine gas was used for the first time by the Germans.
What? Ichi. What? What?
One. Ah, get away. Good dog.
Go, go, go!
Escape diary unlocked. Diary. March 10th, 1915. What a day. My life was saved today, but first by an American soldier, then by a dog. When I'm free at last, I saw Carl before the bombing. I hope he made it out alive. Alright, what is... On the march to Belgium, where this damned regiment is stationed, I'm not alone at least. I met a funny old French farmer guy. Emile. Doesn't say much, but if I understand right, his son-in-law is German. How crazy is that? Not a day goes by that I don't dream of you. Where are you writing to? Last, I can't wait to get fighting. Maybe it'll ease some of the pain I feel inside. I missed them by a whisker. It won't happen again. My younger brother's letter was sweet. It gave me a real boost. It's good to see he's back in the States, miles away from this nightmare. That kid has a knack for getting himself into trouble. Can I actually see what my audio levels are like? Turn myself up here a bit. There you go. It's a bit better. Let's see. So we have... The bells all over Paris started chiming at 4 p.m. this afternoon. It was eerie. Somebody in the street told me it was for the troop mobilization in case Germany declares war. I'll write to father to find out what's going on in Belgium. Feels strange to return to Germany. At least Emil can take care of Maria and Victor. Things should calm down in the months to come. It's all so meaningless. Emil, there, right in front of me, sprawling on the ground. Why did this regiment have to come up against mine? I hope he pulls through. He's one tough cookie. I must find out what POW camp he's being taken to. At least I found Emil, just moments before the shells start flying. I hope he's managed to dodge the bombs. The letter he showed me filled my heart with joy. Maria's well and Victor's growing up. That's all that matters. After Carl, it's Daddy's turn to leave. Why did they have to call him up? Wasn't it enough to expel my dear sweet love from these lands? Why do they want to put Daddy in uniform? He's too old to fight. And now they've left me all alone with the harvest in the way and Victor to take care of. That letter gave me such a fright. Poor Daddy. He's been wounded and taken prisoner by the Germans. I don't know if he's seriously injured, and if he's being well taken care of. I've been told prisoners are allowed to receive letters. I shall write him tomorrow. Today the Germans invaded St. Mihiel. I'm probably horribly mispronouncing that. Fortunately, the troops spared the farm. I took shelter in the cellar with Victor. Now what's going to happen? Oh. Nope, nothing there. Oh, okay. Oh, no, windows, not... No, windows. Oh, some more of that pipe stuff, huh?
What?
I need to get something to drop.
What?
I'm hitting the buttons.
Oh, shit.
Oh, do that. Alright, dig. Dig! There we go. Aha! How do I...
Hey, what?
Not jumping thing. This is a... There we go. Canadian. Shift? No. There we go. I'm running.
What? Baba.
Good talk. Oh, no, there's a dog hole right there. I need to bring him back up. Alright. No?
What?
That one. Yeah, there we go. Ah, good dog. Dramatic music. I think I went further than I wanted to. Oh no, it's not at all.
Hey, what?
All two.
Hurry.
Alt one. Thank you. Alright, so that's obviously important for something later. Now,
Allez, vas-y. Vas-y.
Oh. Okay, never mind. I goofed. There we go. I feel like there's a switch missing. Can't interact with this now. Okay. So...
Yeah. Come on, man. Emil, let's go.
Oh, ladder.
Emil, let's go.
Yep. Oh, Zeppelin dude. Dropping them bombs.
Faster!
That's not good. Battle of Ypres. Ypres was a key strategic town in Belgium, especially for the British. It was a gateway to the north and thus to Britain. Canadian troops were deployed in the front lines, and they proved their endurance and dependability in combat to the Allies. 6,000 Canadian lives were lost in the battle in April 1915. Wow. First gas attack, April 22nd, 1915. Ypres came April 22nd, 1915. At Ypres came the first gas attack in history. 5,730 cylinders of chlorine, were opened by the Germans in favorable winds. Chlorine gas caused burns to the eyes, skin, and lungs, even through clothes and rubber boots. The effects were devastating. The only defense found by the Canadians was to cover their noses with urine-soaked handkerchiefs. Zeppelins were invented in 1900 by the German Count von Zeppelin, but the first long-distance flight didn't take place until 1908. Zeppelins weren't much slower than the aircraft of the period and were first used in reconnaissance. They could also fly at higher altitudes, so from 1915 they were used to bomb civilians in London and Paris. Wow. Dogs of war. It is estimated that by 1918 the Germans had employed 30,000 dogs, while the Allies employed 20,000. Dogs were recruited from dog pounds and the police force, while many families also enlisted their pets. Dogs had a number of roles as sentries and scouts in postal liaison and equipment transport, in locating casualties and explosive, and as mascots. The main breeds deployed were German Shepherds, Doberman Pinschers, and Bouviers. I do not know what a Bouvier is. Ah, that was a urine-soaked cloth. He uses that ladle to devastating effect.
Emil, hurry up!
Alright, we'll check it out in a little bit. Let's do this first. Come here. Come here, Pooch.
Hey, what? Hey. Help me, Emil!
Uh-oh. Gas is coming. Two.
Save me. Thank you, my friend. You in? Don't worry.
Take this. Oh, come on. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to see where the hole is all about. It was not the destined way to go. Alright, we want to... There's no harm in doing this.
Emil, hurry up!
It is a basket, it is not that heavy.
What? I didn't. Help me, Emil! What? Thank you, my friend. You in? Don't worry, friend.
What the heck? Oh! It's a lot more action-packed than I was expecting tonight.
Her name was Anna, a Belgian student living in Paris. She was hard on the trail of her missing father. For once, fate smiled on them. They were all going in the same direction. But while approaching Vimy, a German squadron spotted them.
I am really enjoying this. The music is great. That's awesome. Very well scored. Oh no! New best buddy.
Ça va aller, allez. Emile, allez!
Night of April 22nd, 1915. The Labyrinth. Uh-oh. Quiet, quiet. Oh, he's over there. Whoops. Ah, yes, right there. There he is. I see him now. Alright. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Alright, so I guess I go over here. No. Maybe it is.
What? Shut up!
Oh, good talk.
Bullshit.
Alright. No, nothing. Nothing at all. Uh-oh, that's too close.
Hey, allez, oui.
No, nothing suspicious at all about this trained dog getting a hand grenade.
Oui.
Why does it bounce that far?
Allez, what? Merci, what?
Oh, I'll pet him some more. Nope. No, no.
Oui,
no.
bullshit.
Okay, here.
What?
Oh, trenches. Between the sides, there was an imbalance in trench conditions. After securing a head start in trench construction, the Germans reinforced them with iron and concrete, while the Allies had to wallow in mud. The Allies' changeover policy maybe contributed to this. Allied soldiers had 7 days shifts on the front, whereas German soldiers were allocated a specific zone for an indeterminate period, giving them a chance to settle in. The Labyrinth. Vimy and Neuville-Sava were two positions the Germans were quick to fortify. Here they built the Labyrinth, a complex network of trenches and tunnels connected to the underground sleeping quarters. Allied armies unsuccessfully attempted to seize these key positions on numerous occasions due to the huge number of casualties in late 1915. The position was declared impregnable. Memorial to the Moroccan Division. The Moroccan Division, whose motto was "No Fear, No Mercy," combined soldiers from across French colonial Africa and the Foreign Legion. The division included Moroccan, Zouafir, and Tunisian and Algerian infantrymen. In 1915, the division seized Vimy Ridge, but in the absence of backup from Battalion HQ, they were forced to retreat after 2 days. The Moroccan Division is the only division whose flags were decorated with the Legion of Honor. Naval cannons were capable of firing heavy-duty 800-pound shells. Due to their weight, they were mounted on special rails for transport to firing platforms. In the event of a retreat, artillerymen were instructed to destroy the cannons rather than let them fall into enemy hands. Oh, forgot about that. Is that not close enough? Yeah, it's not close enough. There's nothing suspicious about this dog getting hand grenades and then a hand grenade going off just a short distance away. So,
Bonjour.
orders to fire upon said dog. Good night. There we go. Bye-bye, sandbags. Nope. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. Fuzzy German. There we go. Don't see me. Pay me no mind. Okay, so these are for hiding from them.
Hey, hey. That's it. What? What?
I don't know what the point of that was.
What?
Maybe I'm supposed to backtrack? Something they're over there for a puppy friend? I don't see anything in the behind those dudes. I'm about to find out. A lot of Anzwei from these guys. A lot of it. Alright, let's continue. Great work, Agent. I need that assistance. Oh, that's what I need. I need that. Get it. Thank you, Pooch. And there we go.
Hey, hey.
Let you hang out there for a bit.
Sépia, sépia.
Down the hole. Up the hole. I feel like there's something there I can dig. Is that a digging spot? Oh, okay. What are you? Should trees be a flask? Ah. I missed a knife, I guess, somewhere? And that is a dead adventure. Very unfortunate. Come on, Pooch. Is that him way up there in the background? Yes. Yes, it is. Didn't see me, haha. Go back, you know, doing whatever you're doing back down there.
What? Anyone?
Go get him.
Who's? Huh?
Aw.
Moving? is het dan?
I guess it's time to hit this guy on the side of the head.
Hallo.
Nice knowing you, buddy.
Ah, geil.
Oh, I see what the deal is. Go away. So there's another bundle of dynamite somewhere. And he just needs to go downstairs. For the rest of the evening, go away. Alright, attach this. Now I need to find the last of the dynamite. Wait, it's back there somewhere. Let's have a look. Probably is. Before I send the dog down the hole, let's find out what I dug up. What did I get? A vial of nevrostinine. To combat problems of morale and physical fitness, Army doctors sometimes distribute nevrostinine injections. Composite of magnesium and potassium tend to give warrior soldiers a hearty boost. Interesting. Oh, we found the thing. There's no point barking at that any further. Time for you to go in the hole. And wait, maybe I saw windows over here. Maybe I'm supposed to look at the window. I am supposed to look out the window.
What?
And you should go look at that.
Does he?
Good pooch. And then come back over
What?
here.
Allez, oui.
Alright, pooch, get out of the blast zone. Can't see me, haha. Man, this is some complicated. Okay, I see what's going on here. I'm gonna have to go as fast or as slow as this thing. Did it at a time. I am going to make it. Oops. I guess I went down the hole too fast. Oh, wait, no, there's blinds from that. I did not realize that. And as the famous philosopher once said, I said knock you out. No. It's not. Doesn't look like he's going to turn around anytime soon. Nope, he's not. Yeah, that's what I thought. To go this way for a bit. Those keys. Alright. So I have to go through this door. Absolutely must go through this door. Can't do anything like this. Postcard. Letter from a German soldier. Dear Andrea, we've been stuck down this hole since January and I can't stand it anymore. I'm sick to the back teeth with living like a rat. I really miss life as it was before, strolling beneath linden trees with you. I even miss working in the factory. All my love, your Dieter. Alright, so how am I supposed to get... Oh. No. So that must be the other door that I saw. Okay. So let's go in here and get the lever. Okay, I need another bottle. I guess I make it go. Quiet, you pigeon. Person thing. Kawang. Alright. Now we get the handle. Go back down. And after we pick this up, which is a can of sardines? Tin of sardines. The soldiers were all fed by their respective armies, but they also received parcels from back home to improve their daily lot. Tins of fish or pate gave them a more copious nutritional meal than their daily army fare. Sardines and pate aren't good for you either. It's telling you something about army fare. Oh, nope. That was a goof. Let's try this again. Alright, Pooch. In you go.
Hey, hey.
Good dog. Good dog. I'm so glad I'm not dog sitting right now. That really confused the dog. Me randomly talking to a dog on a computer. Alright. Alt 3, please. Coin. British coins. While the war raged on, life continued and the economy too. The war economy was composed of both barter and currency systems. Soldiers purchased provisions in towns using their pay. In 1914, the pay of a British private in a line regiment was a shilling a day. The standard king's shilling. Obligatory deductions were made for wife and children, 6 pence for the wife, 1 pence a day for the child. For each child, nowadays 1 shilling has the estimated purchasing power of 3.21 British pounds, Great British pounds, or $5.42 US dollars. And in 1971, the shilling was replaced by the 5 pence coin, thanks to decimalization. Oh, that's right. They went by like something like imperial coin system. I wish I understood German right now.
Merci.
Just walking out the door. One. Alright, let's try this. Aha!
What?
I'll just bring it all the way back. Or not. Man, this movie is making me want to go to the beer hall.
What?
Oh, I guess that's where the dog is supposed to be able to move that.
What?
There we go.
What?
I don't really need a hint, but thank you. One bird.
Skid are bad.
Ah, father.
Baron von Dorf had escaped again, but Emil had still managed to find medicine for Freddy.
Thank you, my friend.
They were quickly back on the road again. Their journey would take them to Rans, where they would at last pick up the trail of the elusive Baron and his Zeppelin.
We got racing bombs again? Oh no. In the city. Is that the description? Zeppelins, World War I. Was it the Freddy episode? Was it Eddie? Freddy? back down the hole. Ugh, damn it. Alright, so not cool. I don't mess it up. Right. Running good. There we go.
Pitié!
Oh. Reims Cathedral. Reims. The city of Reims suffered during the war. September 19th, 1914, as the Germans retreated from the city, they set fire to the cathedral. Then, as the city was so close to the conflict zone, it was bombarded by zeppelins and cannonfire. During the bombardments, the statue of Joan of Arc in front of the cathedral lost a hand before it was dismantled and stored in the catacombs. At the end of the war, only 1,500 inhabitants are still living in Reims. Jeez. The home front, with practically all able-bodied men mobilized at the front, women, children, and the elderly were employed in factories to ensure weapons production. Women took on traditional male roles, some even held positions of responsibility. This new role changed their status in society, and in the wake of the war, women over 30 years old were given the vote. The Women's Institute held its first meeting in 1915 with the aim of encouraging women to become more involved in food production during the war, and the movement flourished. Interesting. Alright, you're missing a kid.
Aidez-moi! Je vous en prie.
Alright,
Aidez-moi!
missing your dude. Alright. It was a mistake. It's just because it's not just smoke after all. Alright, coach. Go get him. Good dog.
Allez.
Merci beaucoup.
Oui, bon chien.
Merci beaucoup.
Oh, I'm hearing something to the right. Let's check out what's upstairs. All these explosions. Alright. I'm tempted to jump. No jumping? No, that's not the solution to this problem. Okay. Pre-tail is the solution.
Hey, right.
Wait. What's the solution? To have the dog jump out? No, the dog can't do anything about that. Alright, let's go upstairs and cut some cable. guess that's all there is to be done here. We need more people.
Merci beaucoup. Oh, merci. Oui.
Bon chien.
Anyone close over here? No? One more guy. Oh, we need this guy. Oh, what's this? Working pants. Overalls. Practically all able-bodied men were mobilized to the front, but production still had to carry on. Women took over men's roles in factories and in other traditional male positions, working for much lower salaries. Some even held positions of responsibility and were involved in decision-making. This new role changed women's status in British society. But we aren't in Britain.
S'il vous plaît. Allez.
Push. Come here.
Allez.
Okay.
Allez. Ouais. Vas-y. Va. Ouais, allez. Ouais. Ouais.
Yeah. Ooh. That was
What?
unintentional. Or was it? Is there something of value for me here? Yes. What the heck? Oh, it's a razor. Safety razor. The safety razor was an early 20th century invention and shaved with more safety than barber's blades. In 1917, safety razors were standard issue in U.S. soldiers' kits because it had been noticed that gas masks provide more effective protection to a shaved face. I am outside. I am inside. Haha. Ha ha ha.
Ouais. Vas-y.
Good dog.
Eh, ouais. Va. Ouais. Ouais. Allez. Eh, ouais. Ouais. Hop.
There we go. Good dog. Let's go. Let me look at what I'm missing here. I think I'm supposed to be able to get that kid somehow.
C'est bien, c'est in here.
Anything shiny, anything of vague value. Oh, cupboard. Why, thank you. I do. What are you? Early gas mask. While gas masks were in more widespread use in the front, they were also available to civilians and in French towns close to the front, like Rheims. They were fairly common. This early model was one of the first composed of a cotton compress doused in neutralizing solution and applied to the mouth and nose, similar to the British black veil. Alright, so there's other somethings in here probably that I need to be able to find.
What?
What do you get? War Godmother Certificate. To improve morale on the front, an association was created in France in early 1915 to provide succor and support from behind the lines for soldiers without close families. The War Godmothers sent letters and parcels forming close relations with their godchildren away from the front. Oh, that's cool. There's two other things. I don't see them. There's something in here. So let us continue on. Whatever it is, I've probably already missed it. Which is a shame. How do I get to that kid back there?
Echo.
I feel like whatever I'm missing, it's... Nope, nothing there.
What?
It's two.
How did it?
Active Service Paybook. Paybook belonged to a British soldier. It also contained practical details such as a last will and testament form, as well as the names and addresses of close relatives to contact in the event of death. The book also served as a regulations guide to good conduct, advising men in this new experience you may find temptation both in wine and women. You must entirely resist both. Okay, so what's the second thing that I missed?
What? What?
That's the thing I missed. Alright, well, I guess that's all she wrote. Oh, what's up there? That sounds like our fire beating someone up. In the hole. Oh, they're not going hole. Dang it. Alright, so what am I supposed to do? Oh, I hit the buttons. Oh, ha 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 ha. That's what that's for.
What?
Alright, so what am I missing? Ah. So I need to wait for him to let go. No, I need to wait for this. All the way.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I need to do that. Nice time.
Zum Angriff!
Really?
Vorwärts Marsch!
Ready!
3 grenades in that close environment. You survive that. You're a tough dude. Hey, fun police. My chat did not update until just now. Sorry about that. How's it going? Oh my. That's not good.
Aus den Gräben! Ja.
Ah. That's what I'm supposed to do. Gotcha. That's also not good. Aha! Like your Zeppelin, buddy. Oh no! Son-in-law! Where are you crashing? Okay, so the guy with the glasses is her father, by the way. I'm not sure we came on. What happened? Oh, it was chapter 1. Earlier in Paris.
Anna was training to be a veterinarian when the war broke out. The Germans were only 20 miles from Paris when she received a letter from her father. He was in good health, but implored her not to return home to Belgium until the war's end. Patience, however, was not one of Anna's strong suits.
So she gets a friend bird, I guess. That this? No. I need to throw something at the bird, I guess. I heard a child. Or a small mouse, maybe. What's in here? Inkwell. Inkwell. Ballpoint pens were not developed until 1950s or through 60s, so soldiers used a quill or nib to write letters. Ink was poured into an inkwell, to which in order to provide enough ink, the quill or nib had to be dipped regularly. Ah, locked in thanks to Mr. Bird. Well, Mr. Bird, don't appreciate that. So now you're gonna hang out over right and hit you. That I do appreciate. Nope. I hear people saying something about Bugs Bunny. Come on. Enter the zone. The zone of my home. Make it. Oh, can only carry one thing. That's right. Never know when you need to throw something at a bird. Hello, child from earlier. A letter from a Belgian civilian in Paris. Dear parents, we fled our land before the German advanced to take shelter in France with the children. Unfortunately, the Germans kept coming forward and Paris is practically under siege. If Paris falls, we shall return home to Liège. Your dear daughter, Matilda. Well, can't interact with you at all. Oh, taxis. Taxis to the Marne. Parisian taxis are requisitioned. That's interesting. Yes, let's read about that. Germans at the gate. In September 1914, the German advance took them to within 20 miles of Paris. The government had already fled to Bordeaux and was kept expecting Paris to fall. In the north, most of Belgium was occupied, but under the king's command, 75,000 soldiers kept Ypres and Ise out of German hands. Is that Ise? Right. I did not take French. The taxi to Marne. September 6th and 7th, 1914, General Gallieni requisitioned 630 Parisian taxis to transport troops rapidly to Marne, while relatively few soldiers are actually transported, 4,000 in all. 3% of the total number of men deployed in the battle. The impact on the public was huge. The event became a symbol of solidarity for the nation. Marne, probably. And the Marne counterattack saved Paris from German occupation. What's that? A watch. Broken watch strap. A watch strap broken by a motor crank handle. Before battery ignition was developed, motor cars were started by cranking a handle. As the engine sparked to the left, the operator had to let go of the handle smartly because the crank handle, now propelled by the engine, could cause a nasty accident. I think I need to throw a rock at this. Rocks, or not. Can't get at it. Not for me. I love the fact that pigeons are all wearing little helmets and everything. All messenger bags, backpacks. Yes, I need tools.
Consolesta tu.
Tools for that too. That's an X tool. Neither one of those is correct shape. How about we put this on? We find. Ooh, that doesn't look good. Newspapers. The main source of information was the newspaper. Radios were in their early days based on tube technology, and television did not exist. On top of the local and national news, a news section appeared in the newspapers dedicated to the events of the front. Some of the newspapers also published daily listings of POWs and war dead. It is a local way to find out also. I swear. It's triangular. That is convenient. Yeah, you look like you can do anything. Let's try you out. On here. Did they not find a bottle? But let's go find it. Oh no. What did you do? Where's the boo-boo? Oh.
Voilà. Pas mieux.
Any game time. Aha.
Merci, madame.
And I'll steal your bottle. Have a nice day. Oh, so this is where she gets her car from. Barrels! 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 Oh, car got all beat up. Hey now. Hey now. Yeah, this is a very confusing game on police. Oh. Grab barrels.
September 7th, 1914. Taxis drove all night. Anna was proud to help the soldiers reach the front line. When Anna arrived at her destination, she discovered the horrible truth with her own eyes.
Marne, France, September 7th, 1914. So, a lot of dead dudes. And horses.
non.
First aid.
Non, 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 non,
Game.
non. Ok. Allez. Voilà. Allez, courage. Voilà, Sia. Courage, Nico.
I wasn't expecting minigames like these.
7 months went by. Driven by compassion, Anna devoted herself, body and soul, to healing the wounded and the sick. Every life saved was another small victory over the war. The conflict, however, raged on.
Okay. April 22nd, 1915, Ypres, Belgium.
Hé!
That away. Okay, those are the guys I have to help. One of them is shell-shocked, clearly. Oh my. The hecatomb. The first 3 months of the war saw especially heavy losses. August 2016. 22nd, 1914 was the bloodiest day of the whole war, with heavy casualties. Numbers of wounded were far greater than had been anticipated, and the military health services struggled to cope with the scale of the conflict. Nurses. Nurses were the angels of the Great War, and were generally volunteers recruited by the Red Cross, the Army, or the American ambulances to work long, grueling shifts in hospitals both at the front and behind the lines. They play the role of carers, mothers, and confidants. They often feature in soldiers' memoirs, and were sometimes their sole companion in death. The majority were demobilized. Wow, that would have been horrific. Were demobilized at the end of hostilities. Somebody needs water. I need a bottle.
Fais l'attaque à Grimoire. Hey, pardon. Bon.
Ah, non, 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 non. Non, 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 non. Hé, hé, oh. Allez, dépêche-toi, dépêche-toi.
Ah!
Voilà, Sia. Allez, courage. Courage, Nico. Amieux.
Man. That dude's tough. For those at home who don't realize what was just happening, she just sawed his arm off. Socks. Tallow socks. Socks soaked in refined tallow coated with formol. The most effective way to beat the cold and damp, frostbite, and other ailments. That at least was what the adverts had people believe. However effective the socks were, a soldier's best friend was always a nice dry pair. Alright, so that's where I get water from. Oh yeah, we need this again, so we'll take it. Buddy? Hey, buddy. Okay. Oh, I need a waffle. Yes, I'll get you. What's this? What is it? Mess tin with holes. Both dishes of this mess tin have holes in them. Not hugely practical for eating, perhaps, but life-saving for one soldier. The mess tin bag was worn at kidney height. When the shell exploded, this mess tin slowed down the searing hot shrapnel in flight, which, although it wounded the soldier, helped him live another day. Mess tins were blackened using smoke to prevent them glinting in the sunlight. That's a lot of dead dudes.
Ra sai thu.
So you got a broken arm. You need something to sling that way. Let's get this dude his cross.
Oh, Buffy Raw.
Okay, he needs a...
What the
Oh, I
hell?
need that. How do I get that? I can throw something at that. The saw go. Maybe I can throw the saw at it. No? No throwing of saws. Okay. Ah, stupid sticky keys. Can I go that way? Oh, I can go that way. Okay, good. What did I find? A nurse's manual. The war effort suddenly required a large medical corps, and there were not enough qualified personnel. Some manuals were published and distributed to help volunteers train. The manuals provided a whole host of practical solutions to logistical and medical problems at the front, such as how to make a splint or stretcher using rifles and their straps. Alright, so I now have a... Yeah, I'll get you, crutching a little bit. Get this guy's water. Alright. And I'll get you a... Oh, we used the word just a few minutes ago. Ooh, that's a thing. Letter from a Prussian soldier, 6th of September, 1914. My dear daughter, we are making headway through the French countryside. The landscape is beautiful. I'd much rather be enjoying it with you than killing people. I think of you all the time. Your father, Wolfgang. Wow. And a lot of this stuff is supposed to be actual historical documentation, text, that sort of thing. Oh, that's going to be...
Gracias. También.
Was it? Okay. We will get this guy his crutch, and that will be it for the evening, because we are approaching our end time for the day. This is a very interestingly laid out game. I mean, there's some platform puzzles, there's mini games, and then there's all this historical stuff. What am I being summoned to? Is there a person down here? Yes. Oh, person shoulder. Oh, you're a prisoner of war now, buddy.
Oh, man.
Ah, crap. I killed him.
Okay.
No.
Guardiamo. Allez. Voilà.
Danke.
That was the first one where I didn't do too well.
Hey, guarda, là, j'en ai besoin quand on
The
est
French officers were talking about Belgium. The German army was about to experiment with a new weapon near Ypres, Anna's hometown. Anna got en route to warn her father about the imminent danger. Reaching the outskirts of the city, Anna was greeted by the screams of sirens. The deadly gas was already here.
Alright, well, that is depressing and horrifying. And we reached the end of a section, not a chapter. Or part. So this is a good place to stop. We'll continue on Tuesday again. And we'll see how Anna does in this chlorine-gassed town. It is her hometown. Hopefully I don't muck things up too much for her. Yeah. This is a rough game. It's not as rough as some other stuff I've played, but this is kind of a rough game. But thanks for joining me. Have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye.